Hello everyone and welcome. After months and months of work, I am releasing a new investigation into sexual abuse of minors in an international sports federation. As we've seen for several years now, this scourge affects the entire world. France, Colombia, Argentina, Costa Rica, Mongolia, Gabon, Haiti, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Cameroon, Zambia, Sierra Leone, and many more. Today, it's the case of Guinea, specifically in the Nongo Academy, which belongs to the Federation La Foot, or at least is managed by it, but is funded, and this is a bit of the specificity of this case, by international organization. We will find an NGO, Plan International, the French Development Agency, the AFD, and also FIFA. Since the Nongo Academy in fact was praised, it was promoted in communication and public relations operations to say that it was part of the Champion Program, a program initiated by FIFA in 2021 for the empowerment of girls, defense of children's rights, and combating gender-based violence. Notably, on April 16, 2021, accompanied by a group of local politicians, including the Ministry of National Education and Sports, also the French ambassador to Guinea, they had all gathered to praise this center, an awareness program, studies in short. In fact, it's the empowerment of young girls through sports. And so, as I was saying, all these phrases like no gender-based violence, etc., and everything, except that in reality, this center, which was also created, where I will mention the French Development Agency, with the excellent work of Foot. I mean, anyone who knows the reality of Guinean football must cry when talking about the excellent work of the federation, which is one of the worst on the continent, plagued for at least a decade by power struggles among various oligarchs seeking to control Guinean football, extreme politicization, accusations of embezzlement. Anyway, it was a federation, perhaps, I repeat, one of the biggest wastes on the continent that in no way did an excellent job. Nonetheless, the AFD, for France's influence in Africa, has chosen 3 countries, notably Benin, the Togo, and especially Guinea. So of course, there are reasons the AFD gives, notably for the schooling of young girls. And indeed, on paper, it's not a bad idea either. The problem is the resources and the disconnect we have from the local realities on the ground. Because in this center, let me tell you, in fact, it is very, very simple what is happening. You are a girl, you want to play, you have coaches who are very clear. It's Facebook messages. The guys don't even hide it. Or you have to be nice to the coach, etc. Basically, you accept to play the lovers, you're going to play. In fact, the targeted girls come from rather disadvantaged backgrounds, without real access to education. So they try with, of course, social pressure, financial pressure. You want to play, you want the bonuses, you have to do that. And this obviously concerns the young national teams of Silly, particularly the under-20 and under-17 teams. I want to point out that the abuse and sexual blackmail involve both adult and minor players. In this Nongo center, or in the Guinean national teams, also women who want to sleep with young girls, and also in first division clubs. I want to point out that it's the same in basketball. So we have a scandal of quite incredible magnitude. And the AFD, the French Development Agency, so proud to parade with FIFA saying it's a center against abuse. Look at what we're doing in Africa and all. Today is quite embarrassed. Nevertheless, a spokesperson responded to us because I am publishing this investigation on Sport News Africa, because initially she's involved in it. It is my latest book that was released 10 days ago. Radio Silence, not a word about all the revelations in it, including this one, which clearly puts French policy in Africa in a double standard. Because we recall that this Champion program and these investments are linked to the FIFA office in Paris. All of this is highly political. So for those who want to learn more, it's there. Macron, Africa, FIFA. Similarly, I take this opportunity since I have no promotion, and apparently I'm seen as having the plague and cholera. For potentially interested publishers in sub-Saharan Africa wanting to print the book, etc., feel free to email me. I will get in touch with the independent French publisher who released this latest work. And so there, I updated in Sport News Africa because this one is not possible. So thanks to Mansour Lom, the editor-in-chief. On that, we had already done the abuses in the Democratic Republic on this topic. And so I want to clarify that the French Development Agency acknowledged the allegations of sexual abuse and inappropriate behavior within the Nongo Academy. They sent the email this morning and they had been informed of this. The French Development Agency, according to its own words, has therefore contacted the competent authorities in Guinea. What are the competent authorities in Guinea waiting for to shed light on what is happening in this center supposed to protect young girls, supposed to give them a future, and in reality their future is you must sleep with someone, otherwise you don't get to play. So, what now? Because today, the Agence Française de Développement tells us it wants to shed light on this whole affair. I personally contacted FIFA. And a few days ago, they were not aware. So what will FIFA do about this? What will Fegifoot do as well? In the article, we also mentioned some names of supervisors. For now, there is great silence and the Guinean authorities. Today, we have a scandal of a scale even national, and I would say even more, because for the first time you have a center that has been praised and funded by major international organizations who actually use Africa by saying, look, we're giving money, development, etc., only for public relations campaigns, for their conscience or what have you, while ignoring the realities on the ground and the fact that unfortunately, far too often, there are certain girls, young girls even should I say, who suffer. Of course, I will provide updates on all my social media, etc. if anyone wants to contact me, because I repeat, basketball in Guinea, I know that at the Federation and elsewhere, there have been cases that were covered up, especially in an academy. The same goes for certain clubs. So if some want to speak out, perhaps now is exactly the right time. This obviously concerns all other countries for these absolutely appalling cases. And finally, for all those who want to know more, I repeat, I do not have promo. This book, I have put the links in the description. It's about 10 euros. Also available as an ebook, because unfortunately it's not just this scandal. Sports in Africa actually benefits a lot of people. It is a matter of power, political, geopolitical, but above all, image for all these international organizations trying to appear virtuous. And if some girls visibly suffer from it, nothing should be said, because after all, if I'm not here to stir things up and get my hands dirty, I'm not convinced that this affair would get attention. Which makes me think that unfortunately, in many other countries, we could have similar situations. So, it is more than ever time to speak. Thank you all. Keep the faith. And again, a huge bravo to all those players who had the courage to speak up and alert me. Keep the faith.